Property prices, interest rates, inflation. Welcome to the July edition of Month in a Minute. While it's been a turbulent time for property owners, with interest rate rises impacting mortgages, experts say the country remains a landlord's market as national rent values continue to increase. CoreLogic's most recent quarterly rental review reveals the national rent values rose 2.5% in the June quarter, with Melbourne losing its title as the cheapest rental market. Adelaide now takes that crown, with a typical dwelling costing $549 per week compared to $551 per week in Melbourne. Meanwhile, Sydney maintained its position as the most expensive capital city, clocking a median weekly rental value of $733, or an eye-watering 8.1% increase in the June quarter. Nationally, rents are now 27.4% higher than they were at the beginning of the pandemic, which is equivalent to an increase of $127 per week on a median dwelling. CoreLogic economist and report author Caitlin Ezzi said there was a national shortfall of approximately 47,500 rental listings recorded over the 4 weeks into the 3rd of June 2023, and notes that while there has been a slowdown in the pace of national rent growth, it remains well above average. Staying on property, the latest CoreLogic's National Home Value Index shows Australian house values have risen by an average of 1.1% in June, marking the 4th month in a row that values have increased across Australia's capital cities. Every capital city, with the exception of Hobart, notched up gains. Sydney led the lift in values, rising 1.7% in June, which amounts to a total growth of 6.7% since January. Tim Lawless of CoreLogic stated this week that, in dollar terms, Sydney's median housing values are rising by roughly $4,262 a week. Brisbane was the second strongest performer, with housing values lifting by 1.3%, while Adelaide and Perth rose a more modest 0.9%. In Melbourne, values rose by 0.7%. Overall, since February, the Home Value Index has gained 3.4%, showing just how resilient property has been of late. The central bank this week voted to keep the cash rate on pause at 4.1%, only the second time it's left the rate steady since it began its aggressive hike last May. But a hawkish warning in Governor Phil Lowe's statement forewarned mortgage holders of more of an increases in the months ahead in order to get inflation back to target, between 2 and 3%. Either way, it seems there is no quick fix or silver bullet to taming inflation, and the alternative to hiking up interest rates was for governments to cut back spending or increase taxes, which could impact more people than the rate rises have. And that's all we have time for today. Thanks so much for watching. See you next month.